First time this offseason, Tua Tagovailoa is sitting down with an interview with the Fish Tank. What is up, fans? Yes, this I've been waiting for this interview. It's going to be very interesting, sitting down with probably the best Miami Dolphins podcast out there in the Fish Tank with Seth Levitt, OJ McDuffie. If you haven't checked them out yet, go check them out on all the platforms that are there, whether it's Spotify, whether it's wherever. Check them out. Fantastic. Like I said, the best Dolphins podcast out there. They've had Ronnie, Ricky, Greg Camarillo, Brandon Marshall, any Dolphin you can think of. They had Orlando Mari. That's probably one of my favorite that they did was Orlando Mari. Go check them out. Fantastic guys. I met OJ at the MetLife Takeover. Really cool guys. So go check them out. But before we jump into this interview, I got to shout out my today's sponsor, Manscaped.com. I'd like to thank Manscaped for being the sponsor of today's video. Now, if you didn't know, April is National Testicle Cancer Awareness Month. And yes, you know, obviously Manscaped and testicle cancer awareness is going to go hand in hand for obvious reasons. But they are teaming with the Testicle Cancer Society to help essentially put the awareness out there and the understanding of testicle cancer. And that is a very big thing, because if you didn't know this, and this blew my mind, right? One man every hour, every day is diagnosed with testicle cancer. And it takes effective from age 15 to 35. And I'm turning 35. So it's something that I am taking very seriously. But again, Manscaped.com is partnering with Testicle Cancer Society for the month of April, starting from April 26th to May 22nd. And they're having this really cool new lawnmower 4.0. I'll pop it up. You'll see it has the cool purple design on it. That helps us to, remind us essentially that every once in a while, you got to check the marbles to see if you got any lumps or anything down there. They have that motto, we save balls. So this trimmer that is purple is a collector's edition, and there's only going to be 10,000 of them. So again, this promo is going to end on May 22nd. So if you do want to go out and grab yourself one, you have a limited amount of time to go out and grab yourself one of them. And with this new 4.0 purple trimmer, Manscaped.com is donating $50,000 to the Testicle Cancer Society to help fight and impact testicle cancer. So again, to purchase this new TCS Lawnmower 4.0 to support the cause, and for more information, you can perform simply routine checks and everything. You can visit this site, manscaped.com/TCS. And if you want to help support their mission to shave balls and save balls, learn more by going to manscaped.com/TCS or donate at testiclecancersociety.org. And obviously, if you want to grab yourself the Manscaped lawnmower, I think they have the t-shirts there. We save balls. You can go to manscaped.com, use the promo code TCSDDW, and you get yourself 20% off and free shipping. Manscaped.com. So Manscaped, again, you guys are doing fantastic work with testicle cancer awareness, and you guys got some fantastic products. So again, if you want to go grab yourself some, get 20% off. Use the promo code TCSDDW. You get yourself 20% off and free shipping. Now let's jump into this interview. Let me scoot over, pop it up. Now again, I'm not going to show, sorry Seth for pausing on your face in a weird position. I'm not showing the entire interview. If you want to check out the whole thing, it is on the Miami Dolphins YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Fish Tank, right here on the Miami Dolphins Podcast Network. Seth Levitt, DJ Preach is in the back, and the toughest podcaster Dan Marino has ever played with, My man, OJ McDuffie Juice.
Man, you always go to that. I like that, man. What's good, man?
I mean, how can you ever go wrong
right,
if you
man.
reference a Dan Marino
I
quote?
will take it all day, every day, right? You know, I'm always feeling good when we're talking about my side of football.
It is your side of the football.
My side of football all day, every day.
But it's where the play starts.
Right.
QB1, Tua Tagovailoa, welcome to the fish tank.
Thank you guys for having me.
Man, welcome, man. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this, Big Seth, man. You know, we've got a lot to get to with Tua.
Yeah.
Right?
In a short period of time.
In a short period of time. But I'm still riding the wave of his event this past weekend.
Man, it was a great
man.
event.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. How much fun did we have at Tua's luau, you know, for the Tua Foundation this past weekend?
I had a blast.
I had a great time. But I'm gonna tell you what. I want to know this, Tua. How did you get Coach up on stage, man? How the heck did you get him up there? He killed it up there, man. It was like, I mean, that was
up
like,
there with him.
I've been around the league for a long time. I just have never seen a head man get up there and support one of his great teammates or one of his great players the way he did, man. How'd you get Coach up there?
I guess it's a testament to his personality. All he did was have the guys go out into the crowd and try to pick whoever wanted to come up. Obviously, we wanted Coach to be up there. If he declined, we weren't going to force the issue, but Coach wanted to go up there, and I mean, I thought that was the coolest thing. I've never seen that before as well, so that was super.
Right,
cool.
you went to Alabama. Would Nick get up there? Nick
No, Nick
Coach Saban wouldn't do that.
Nick would look at the guy and just be like, no.
No, that's
Big difference. And again, I talked about this in a previous video, and we'll see if it's going to benefit or be a detriment to the team, but the culture change, right? Mike McDaniel's bringing a completely different culture change. You wouldn't have seen Brian Flores up there. You wouldn't see Nick Saban. You definitely wouldn't have seen Bill Belichick. They all come from that Bill Belichick tree. Different atmosphere in this Miami Dolphins organization. We'll see.
It's cool, man. That's good stuff, man. The only thing I was worried about, though, was, you had workouts the next day. So, I mean, because you had Coach up there, he didn't make you guys do any extra 110s or gases or anything after that, did he?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. Right. That's of course. Just from getting to know Coach as a person, getting to hang out with him and have some conversations with him. He is who he is. That's just who he is out there. That's the same person he is when it's just me and him talking, and I find that pretty unique. Whereas you get brought into this world where you need to be politically correct when the media is talking to you, and then when you're just with the guys, you talk a different way, and you have two voices sometimes, with your professional voice and then obviously your voice within the building. So the cool thing is that Coach McDaniel is the same all the time.
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's great. And it kind of leads me into my next question. You talk about conversations that the two of you have had. The whole world saw this first conversation, right? He's on the plane, he's heading in here to be the new head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and he picks up the phone, and we see that Tua's on the other end of the phone. And in that 90 seconds of video, which got everybody excited, we really only heard one side of that conversation. We didn't hear everything. And so tell us a little bit about, like, how were you reacting? Did you know that he was going to call? Were you just sitting there and the phone rings and, oh, wow, it's Coach? Or did you even know it was being filmed? And how did that conversation go? And how has it kind of materialized into where you guys are at now?
Yeah, so I never knew that it was being filmed once, or for one. And then I guess second, we were supposed to have a FaceTime call earlier that day. But Coach got caught up.
He was a little busy
in some things, and I was golfing too. So it.
What were you doing, Tua? He was golfing. How dare you golf, Tua? Couldn't even do that seriously. Who cares?
It kind of worked out.
Right.
When I was done golfing, he said,
I can't believe you doing another form of exercise.
Let me know when you're done. So I let him know, and then he told me, like, hey, could we set this time? Because I'm going to be on a plane coming to Miami.
Right.
And so he said he'd call me on the plane. And I was thinking, dang, what kind of plane is this?
Right.
The Wi-Fi must be strong.
I think it's probably pretty good. That's a safe bet.
Yeah, so FaceTimed on the plane, got to talk to him. I was telling him how excited I am. And that was really the first, interaction that I got with Coach, aside from texting. I thought he was a pretty unique personality when I first heard him speak and talk, because that's not one that I've ever witnessed.
Yeah,
Right.
Especially,
I think for all of us, yeah.
especially, him being the head man. He's so optimistic, he's so positive, but just kind of getting those glimpses of our conversation of who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And then, just not even really talking football for the most part. I guess towards, or whatever was shown, it was obviously, get excited about the season.
Sure.
But man, he's such a person that you can relate to in a lot of things.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, he makes it comfortable for you to share too. So.
I think that is where the potential for Mike McDaniel's success will show, right? Because you have certain coaches that make it seem like, I'm up here, you're the player, do what I say, or you'll get traded, do what I... It's a lot of like dictatorship, right? Some head coaches are like that. Whereas it seems like Mike McDaniel's more of a personal level, right? I will help you if you help me. It's that type of situation. I'm going to help you get the best out of you. I'm going to help you be the best player, help you get paid. Just win games. Just listen to what I'm saying. So we'll see if it benefits.
Great.
I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that is cool, man. Not only do you have a new head man, though, but, it seems like you got a whole new offensive staff in general, And I was looking at this, and me and Seth were talking about it, but it seems like you've had 6 different offensive coordinators in the last 6 years. How the hell are you able to maneuver around that, man? How are you able to be the best you can be in all those situations, and how challenging has that been, first and foremost?
Yeah, it's been challenging, but I think it's football. At the end of the day, it's
Tua will never make any excuses, and I put quotes around it because people like to throw that word excuse around when there's a difference between an excuse and a reason. Tua will never come out and say, oh, the reason my season was off was because I had a horrible offensive line, no run game. A lot of it depended on this and that. The defense had an easy time because we weren't running the ball and that. Never I need to do better in this aspect of my game. So he never comes up with excuses. The man, they just asked him, you had 6 offense coordinators in 6 years. And he's like, it's football.
It's football. Everyone has their own terminology of what they call a post, what they call a corner. At the end of the day, you find out what that terminology is. You get whatever it was prior out of your head, and you just try to master what the verbiage is in that system.
He's talking verbiage. He's talking routes. He's talking playbook. People are still stuck on that 2020 season where he said he didn't know the playbook very, very well. He didn't say he didn't know it, but he said he didn't know very, very well. And then people just want to ignore Tom Brady saying the same exact thing that year. Doesn't fit my narrative.
And really, that's all you can do. You just got to do the best that you can, and a lot of reps.
Yeah,
a lot of reps.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that's our job too, right? I mean, we sit there and look at a lot of film, and we're studying a lot. People don't understand. A lot of times we're in that classroom in those books more than we're out there on the football field.
Yeah, no doubt. You're definitely spending more time watching film, getting with different groups of positions to talk and break down some things. Practice is really just implementing what we just seen and what we just talked about in the classroom out there for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And then you're literally right back into the classroom watching all of that and correcting, all of those things. So
that's where my thought process and what I said, and I think it was the last video, that it takes teams normally about 4 weeks. You can't really judge a team on preseason training camp. because they're not really going through the motions, especially because a lot of it entails classwork essentially, and it takes about 4 weeks into the season, and you really get to identify the type of NFL team that they're going to be. But again, this defense shouldn't have that grace period. They've been together for a year already.
Definitely right. You're spending more time, talking to each other in the classroom than you are out there working.
Yeah. And not only do you have the interaction with Coach McDaniel, but Frank Smith, new OC, Darrell Bevell, how's that interaction been with those guys?
Again, I keep pausing. I have a lot to say. If you want to watch the full video, it's on their channel. Darrell Bevell, to me, is probably the best coach signing we did this offseason. If you look at what Darrell Bevell did with Russell Wilson, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, he had some work with Trevor Lawrence. I'm very excited to see what Darrell Bevell can do with Tua. He's had offensive coordinator experience. He's had head coach intern experience. Add upon, Applebaum and all these offensive line coach. Our offensive coordinator was a really good offensive line coach. I'm very excited to see what this team can do.
As well, we're talking about new guys on the offensive staff.
Yeah, I think Coach McDaniel's has done a great job, not just with his staff, but with everyone that surrounds our organizations, with the new players that we've got as well, with the guys that we've kept, the guys that, like I said, acquired.
We're going to talk about that for sure.
Yeah, everyone in this building, everyone's optimistic, but everyone has, a high amount of character, I would say, within the building. And I think that says a lot about, Coach McDaniel. It says a lot about Chris Greer with, the communication between Coach and Chris. But yeah, I mean, it's an environment where, guys want to come into work and guys are excited to come into work, to be able to work with one another and to be able to work, with Coach.
So, Tua, and not to harp on this, but go back to the 6-0 season, 6 years, and obviously a lot of that was before you even were a professional football player. But I wonder if, I don't know what your vision was for what your pro career would look like when you started to focus on those things, but I wonder if maybe it's gone a little differently than what you had drawn up prior to getting in Miami and becoming a pro. And look, that's the way life is, right? We don't control all of those things, but there seems to be at times some noise that kind of surrounds you in some way, shape, or form. How do you manage that? Is that something that you carry with you? Do you walk into this season carrying that noise, or do you feel like, you know what, it's a new year, it's a fresh start, it's a clean slate, and let's go do what we got to do?
Yeah, my entire life, I would say there's been noise, and not specifically media,
right.
But for me, the noise has been, my dad, and really that's what it is. And what I mean by that is, my dad is my biggest critic, aside from me. And my dad is gonna shoot it straight. If that was the worst thing ever, that was the worst thing ever. Whereas a lot of my other family members would tell me, like, you're the best.
Right.
Like there's no one better than you, this and that. My dad would tell me, that's just not good enough. It's never good enough. And that's kind of how it was growing up. And when I came into Alabama and then, ended up coming into the national championship game and we won, I always remember my dad telling me, act like you've been there before.
Yeah.
And I know we've all heard that.
Sure.
Thing, act like you've been there before.
Easy to say.
Of course,
right.
Of course. And so I don't know if you can recall, but when we did win, I think I was probably the only one not celebrating as much as I probably should have, because I had that running in my head, like,
Dad
act like you've been
ear.
here before. So, like, fine, everyone, just, hey, good game, good job. And, like, just wait to talk to the media.
Wow.
But I was dying inside. I was like, oh, my gosh, I just want to celebrate. But, yeah, I was like, man, that's super exciting. And so, just coming back to your question with the media and all of the outside noise, it's one of those things where I fall back to act like I've been here before. So obviously this is new territory for me because at Alabama, their fans are all, always uplifting and whatnot. But within the NFL, it's not just our fans that we have trying to support us, but it's just everyone else outside watching, other teams' fans. So act like you've been there before.
I love it.
That's how you handle it.
Yeah. Speaking of noise, man, this team has made so much noise this offseason. Some serious,
it's the right kind of noise.
Offensive noise. That's what I love. You know what I mean? I know you like that as well. So tell me what was going through your mind when you're like, say you're in your backyard, hitting some golf balls into the lake, and your phone starts buzzing, and your phone is buzzing, and you look up, and we got Chase Edmonds. And then, it's buzzing again, and we look up and we got Cedric Wilson, Raheem Mostert, and then so on and so forth, man. We signed Gesicki back. It just kept going and going, man. And then, you got Teron Armstead, and then, of course, we get Tyreek Hill. What was your reaction when all this great action was happening around you, especially on our side of the football?
Our side of the football.
Yeah, our side of the
football. He's ready to go in a huddle with you right now. It sounds like to him.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess the only word that can describe that is exciting.
Yeah,
it's exciting times for all of us, but we know that aside from the guys that we've acquired, it's gonna take work for all of us. It's gonna take work. We're gonna have to continue to build relationships with each other, not only on the field but off the field, and we gotta do the most important thing as to why we're here, and that's win games.
That's right.
So, and when I hear you say that, and I guess in some ways you may have just answered this question, but with all that excitement, of course, the noise, there's the counter narrative like, well, okay, now, look at all these weapons. Tua has to go off.
Yep.
Like, of course he's going to go off
here.
here. Does that add a layer of pressure? Do you feel that as pressure, or do you look at that as like, yo, this is opportunity? Like, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think pressure is everywhere, especially in our industry,
Sure.
Or any professional industry. Pressure's just there. But, it's one of those things where you're either going to make use of this opportunity, with the guys that we have, or you're not. And that's what it is. And so for me, I'm looking forward to making use of this opportunity.
The quarterback position, to be the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, like it's a pretty cool gig. That's it. So what if in the few years that you've been holding that position, what's the best part of being the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins?
It's a lot easier to make friends.
Yeah. You didn't have trouble making friends. Come on, Tua.
It's a lot easier making friends. No, but I would say probably one of the best parts about being the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins is being able to help, others that, when they say they kind of need your help, you're able to do so for them in ways that I guess others can't. Meaning, you're able to call people and ask them, if you can if they could do a favor for you, and
got a little circle of influence there.
Yeah, and you can help others through that.
There's a lot more. Again, go check it out. There's about 10 minutes more. He talks about his foundation. He talks about a lot of great things. Go over to the Miami Dolphins YouTube channel. Check out the whole video. But I just love that, how selfless this guy is, Tua, and how they asked him essentially, what's the greatest thing about being the Miami Dolphins quarterback? And he's like, I can help people. I'm excited to see what he could do this year. I think they brought the right coaches in. I think, they really built the team around him. So I'm very excited to see what he could do this year. But comment below. Let me know. Let me know what you think of this interview. Go watch the full thing. You can come back and tell me what you thought of the full interview. But Seth and OJ and the Fish Tank absolutely killed this interview. Absolutely loved it. Be sure to comment below. We got a lot of videos planned. We're going to be breaking down the centers. The draft is in about, it's Thursday today? About 2 weeks. 2 weeks from today is the draft. Dolphins aren't doing anything day one, but I still have a lot planned. We're going to break down centers, and then I'm doing my thing where I do every year now, where I'm going back every 3 years to see how that draft panned out. And was it a good draft? Was it a bad draft? So other than that, guys, I'll see you in the next video. But like usual, stay classy and fins up.